Cannabidiol, or CBD for short, is the second most prominent compound found in the cannabis plant.
A lot of the medical benefits of cannabis that are attributed to THC or the other cannabinoids are actually due to the CBD content of the cannabis.
It has very strong anti-inflammatory properties. And not only does it help suppress inflammation, but there was a study that showed that it also helps the body to not make the chemical that causes inflammation. So it actually has somewhat of a preventive role. Cannabidiol has also been found to have anticonvulsant properties in that it can reduce the seizure threshold for a number of patients. I've had my own patients who have said that once they started using CBD-rich strains, they have found that they have had less episodes of their seizures.
1. CBD is a key ingredient in cannabis. CBD is one of over 60 compounds found in cannabis that belong to a class of molecules called cannabinoids. Of these compounds, CBD and THC are usually present in the highest concentrations, therefore, they are the most studied and recognized. CBD and THC concentrations tend to vary among different plants. Marijuana grown for recreational purposes usually contains more THC than CBD, as THC is what causes the high. 2. CBD is non-psychoactive. Unlike THC, CBD does not cause a high. Using selective breeding techniques, cannabis breeders have managed to produce plants with high concentrations of CBD with next to zero levels of THC. This is extremely beneficial, as health professionals prefer treatments with minimal side effects. 3. CBD reduces the negative effects of THC. CBD seems to offer natural protection against the marijuana high. Numerous studies have shown that CBD acts to reduce the intoxicating effects of THC, such as memory impairment and paranoia. CBD also seems to counteract the sleep-inducing effects of THC, which may explain why some strains of cannabis are known to increase alertness. 4. CBD has a wide range of medical benefits. According to a 2013 review published in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology, studies have found CBD to possess the following medical properties: antiemetic, reduces nausea and vomiting; anticonvulsant, suppresses seizure activity; antipsychotic, combats psychosis disorders; anti-inflammatory, combats inflammatory disorders; antioxidant, combats neurodegenerative disorders; antitumoral and anti-cancer, combats tumor and cancer cells; anxiolytic and antidepressant, combats anxiety and depression disorders.
CBD, there's been shown for some time now, decades, that it can have a medicinal effect. Specifically, some of the early studies showed on convulsive disorders or seizure disorders. CBD is the more medicinal part of these compounds.
One chemical in marijuana, THC, is responsible for the psychoactive effects, or the high. It also combats nausea and pain. But another chemical, called CBD, seems to have additional benefits. In San Francisco, these researchers say that compound, CBD, can kill cancer cells and stop them from metastasizing in human cells and mice.
This compound that appears to be quite effective at inhibiting cancer.
A lot of the medical benefits of cannabis that are attributed to THC or the other cannabinoids are actually due to the CBD content of the cannabis.
It has very strong anti-inflammatory properties. A number of studies were done where they actually gave patients an overdose of THC to see what would happen when they then added CBD. And CBD completely turned around the negative effects of an overdose of THC without changing the levels of THC in the blood. So that means that CBD exerts its own medicinal, just doesn't reverse THC, it actually has its own medicinal properties. CBD has been found to cause cancer cells to what we call commit suicide while preserving the normal cells. And what appears to happen is it appears to bind to the receptors on the cancer cells, which then induce the cancer cell to kill itself. Cannabidiol has also been found to be what we call biphasic in terms of sleep. So at low doses, it's what we call alerting. It kind of keeps you awake. At higher doses, it can be very sedating and cause you to sleep. But what's nice about that is you can control whether or not you are alert or you're feeling tired. Now, there have been a number of studies that have looked at cannabidiol, CBD, exerting a protective property to damaged neurons. And it appears that in the studies, CBD protects the nerves by inhibiting the process by which nerves are damaged. CBD has also been shown to protect against brain injury when patients or lab animals have had a brain injury. CBD appears to protect the brain from damage that occurred to the nerve cells. The studies have shown that it can actually fight MRSA, which is methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, a notorious bug that is resistant to a number of antibiotics. A topical application of cannabis was able to fight the infection, and the MRSA was eradicated from that infection site. One of the important things for people to understand about cannabidiol is it is not psychoactive. That means it does not change your mood, your mentation, the way that THC has psychoactive properties and can actually cause what we call the high. CBD does not do that. For patients who are not interested in the THC effect but are interested in the CBD effect, this is a terrific choice for them.